Alright, here's the drone video for a big tract out at Whitetail Crossing. This is tract 13. It's 10 acres in size. It's fully surveyed. We're looking northerly, and you can see the private easement road there. The property is going to sit on the east side, so on the right side of that. And as we back up a little more, we should see the truck. This property happened. There it is. The truck is parked right by the start of the private driveway. Leads back into the property. This tract was either leased or under contract, I'm not sure, and there was people that had camped out there. They did leave a little pile of trash right by the start of the driveway. There's some pop cans and beer cans and some odds and ends that you can probably see in the ground video, so just to make people aware of that. So now looking southerly, you can see the private road ends just a few hundred feet after the property, so extremely private, no through traffic at all. So if you've been looking for, something that's very private with maybe some extra security, a private easement road is a good deal for that. So there's the truck, like I say there. And we did walk down the private driveway. It goes back to the east a couple hundred feet, and then it kind of doglegs to the left. And there's an open site that I guess was used for camping. It needs to be mowed or weed whacked probably, but could be a very nice private way to get off the property or get off the road and camp or do your cabin or home or whatnot. We're gonna get down really low, I hope, and then we're gonna go easterly and check out the property. It's basically all wooded other than the trail and the small site. There may be a few other open areas. There may be some other trails as well. We haven't fully explored it, but the nice thing is you'll find a lot of good mature timber on this property. So fantastic area. There you can see the trail, and as it cuts to the north there, there's a little open site. So I mean, it's kind of good to go if you want to have a place to get off the road and camp or relax. The deer hunting and turkey hunting out here is excellent. The deer hunting especially. This particular area, which is why this is called Whitetail Crossing, is very well known for whitetail deer hunting. Large deer just in this particular area. We've owned property right out here for over 10 years. Owned a big piece adjacent to the east side of this years ago, and everyone we talked to that hunted the area was like, wow, this is unbelievable. This is the best deer hunting we've ever had. So that's why we're really familiar with this area. So still looking easterly. The topography of this property is great. I mean, most of the tracts in the Ozarks, especially big tracts like this, you'll have a lot of steep stuff, a lot of property that's really, not usable other than for recreation. This particular property has a large amount of a very usable area. It does slope down and back up as you get toward the east side. There's a little wet weather creek bed, which I don't know if you can see in the video. As we look easterly now, that's looking over the property. Excuse me. So we'll pan to the north here. Now if you look right about in the middle of the screen, that's probably going to be the east side of the property. You can see the mature timber to the left, and then to the right, off of this property, the timber's not as good. So this property has better timber than the property that adjoins it to the east. And we're going to back up now so you can kind of get a look at that. So the trees in the foreground are off of the property. And then as we look to the west, you can see where the bigger timber starts. That's where the property begins. We're going to slowly fly westerly, all the way back to the easement road, I believe. I kind of wish we could go down a little further because I would have loved to get a bird's eye view of the gravel creek bed that crosses over the property. But you might have to check that out on foot, I guess, because we are a couple hundred feet up here. I would have liked to have been down closer, but at the same time, a good high aerial like this really gives you a good overview of the property. There's no hiding anything in a good drone video because you fly right over the whole property, and that's what we're doing here. It's a great mixture of timber. It's mostly hardwood, so oaks and hickories, but you do have pines, you do have cedars. You're going to have a lot of different species of trees on this property. We're close to 3 good usable towns. We've got Mountain View, Missouri to the northeast. We've got Willow Springs, Missouri to the northwest. And to the south, you have West Plains, Missouri. So all within driving distance of this tract. Super nice for recreation. You could certainly build out here if you want to do that. It's got some standard property covenants in place, nothing too restrictive. Basically, if you're going to build any kind of standard cabin or home that's going to be at least 600 square feet in size on a foundation, then probably none of the covenants will affect you at all. But you do want to be aware of those, obviously, prior to purchasing a property. You cannot live out here, excuse me, in a portable building or in an RV or in a tent. If you're looking for a place to do that, I can think of one other seller we can recommend, but on our properties, the covenants do restrict that. Okay, so now looking to the north, land on the right, truck still parked by the start of the private driveway. I thought we were gonna close in and get a little closer view, but this is good too. I mean, you can get a good look at that timber. It's tough to find property that has nice timber, and this does have some big hardwood trees on it. After the property's been paid for in full, you're welcome to cut the timber, to sell the timber, to harvest the timber, to leave all the timber after it's been paid for in full. So while you're making payments on the property, you can't cut or disturb or remove the timber with the stump diameter of greater than 8 inches when measured at ground level. So if you desire to remove some timber to enlarge the building site or create some trails, get a hold of us. We will ask you to mark the trees you want to remove with marking ribbon, like the cheap hunting trail marking ribbon at Walmart or Home Depot, and then we can send a guy out and check that over, and generally we don't have any problem giving written permission to do that. If you just purchased the property and made a minimal down payment and you would like to remove a large amount of mature, valuable hardwood trees, we might have to have a discussion about that, but in general, if people are reasonable with us, we'll be more than reasonable with them on that. So looking northerly with the land on the right, super private, great area. Just a great feeling of peace and seclusion out here at Tract 13 at Whitetail Crossing. So check out our website at InstantAcres.com to see if this property is still available. And if so, we would be thrilled to talk to you and answer any questions you have. InstantAcres.com.